So, what if you're not just a passenger, just kind of experiencing life as it happens? What if you're actually the architect of your own reality? Today, we're going to open up the user manual for your brain, using what we know from modern neuroscience to show you how you can literally rewire the way you see and interact with your world.
And look, this isn't just some catchy feel-good quote. This is a core principle of neuroscience. The science is absolutely clear. You have the power to consciously build the very fabric of your life, and it all starts from the inside out. Let's get into how that actually works.
So where do we even begin with something this big? Well, it all starts with understanding the different operating states, or you can think of them as gears of your brain. Mastering how to shift between these gears, that's the very first critical step to taking conscious control. From a scientific point of view, your brain is operating on 4 main frequencies, or brainwaves. But the easiest way to think about it is like the gears in a car. You wouldn't try to go from a dead stop straight into 5th gear, right? You'd stall the engine. Well, the same exact principle applies to your mind if you want peak performance. Every single morning, whether you know it or not, your brain is designed to move through this exact sequence. A great day really starts with a smooth transition. You go from that deep restorative delta sleep, through the hazy, creative, and highly suggestible theta state, into the calm awareness of alpha, and then finally, you land in that focused, ready-to-go beta state. Now here's the critical insight, the real secret sauce. That little transition through theta and alpha, it's not just a wake-up phase. No, it's an incredible window of opportunity. In that suggestible, creative state, you can literally program your mind for the day you want to have. It's a moment we can intentionally, hijack for our own good. Okay, so how do we actually hack that moment? Well, it's with a simple, science-backed routine. The acronym you gotta remember is MOVERS. And this isn't about adding hours to your morning, not at all. It's about adding some serious intention to that first crucial hour of your day.
And look, this doesn't have to be some huge commitment. We're talking 5 minutes for each of these things. That's it. But it can fundamentally change your brain chemistry for the rest of the day. Meditation and breathwork calm you down. Visualization, well, it primes your brain for success. Getting some sun and exercise sets your body clock. Reading positive stuff gives you good fuel. And scribing, that helps you consciously let go of all the junk. And if you think that V for visualization sounds a little bit out there, get this. This study is incredible. It showed that your brain's neurons, they often can't tell the difference between something you actually do and something you vividly imagined doing. So when you mentally rehearse success, you are physically building the neural highways to get you there. That is neuroplasticity in action. It's wild. So what is actually going on inside our heads when we do all this? On a neurological level, what you're doing is staging a conscious takeover. You are actively shifting control away from your primitive, reactive brain and handing the steering wheel over to your modern executive brain. Let's really break down this internal power struggle, because understanding this battle that's happening inside your own mind every single day, it is the absolute key to going from a life of just reacting to everything to a life of conscious, intentional creation. So on one side, you have your limbic system. Let's call it the watchman. This is your ancient, automatic survival brain. It's always on, always scanning for threats. And it's what triggers that fight, flight, or freeze response. But on the other side, you have your frontal cortex. We'll call that the CEO. This is the modern, evolved part of your brain that lets you pause, manage your emotions, and actually choose how you want to respond. And get this. That frontal cortex, our CEO, makes up a massive 40% of our brain's volume. It's our evolutionary superpower. It's what makes us human. And yet, here's the crazy part. Studies suggest that for most of the day, most of us let the reactive little watchman run the entire show. We live in a state of reaction, not intention. So, this brings us to the most important practical question, right? How do we strengthen our inner CEO and actually take back command? The goal isn't to get rid of the watchman, we need it, but to train it, to let it know who's really in charge here. You know that feeling when you just get hijacked by an emotion? Maybe it's a flash of anger, a wave of anxiety, or that deep pain from a breakup. You can get stuck in this really powerful emotional loop. But the good news is, neuroscience gives us a simple 3-step kill switch to break out of it. Think of this ABC method as your neurological emergency brake. First is A for awareness. You just have to recognize, okay, I'm stuck in a loop. That's it. Second is B for breathing. You use what's called a physiological sigh. One deep inhale, then another little sharp inhale on top, and then a long, slow exhale. It's one of the fastest ways known to science to calm your nervous system. And third, C is for commitment. Consciously choose to re-engage with a positive habit. That last step is what puts your CEO firmly back in the driver's seat.
Okay, so that's the emergency brake for when things go wrong. But we don't want to just be putting out fires all day, right? We want to build long-term strength. We want to build a calmer, more resilient default state. And the key to doing that is exercising your alpha brainwaves, that beautiful state of relaxed, present awareness.
And the tools for this are so simple, you don't need any fancy equipment. The first is to just sit with your eyes closed for 5 or 10 minutes and let your thoughts come and go without judging them. The second is grounding, literally walking barefoot on grass or sand. Both of these are ancient practices, and they are incredibly powerful ways to train your brain to produce those calming alpha waves whenever you want.
All right, let's bring this all home. We've got the tools for the morning. We've got the tools for moments of crisis. Now let's connect all of this to the ultimate goal, using these principles to build a limitless brain and create the life you consciously choose, not just the one you react to. The whole foundation for this is the science of neuroplasticity. And honestly, it's the most hopeful field in all of neuroscience. It proves, without a doubt, that you are not stuck with the brain you have. Every single action you take, every thought you entertain, is actively wiring and rewiring your brain every single day. It's so easy to look at super successful people and think, oh, they were just born different. They must have some kind of success brain that I don't have. But you know what? Science tells us that's a complete myth. The only fundamental difference between an average person and a high achiever is the daily commitment to training their frontal cortex, their inner CEO. That's it. They build resilience, they build focus, they build emotional control, not by luck, but by deliberate practice, day in and day out. There's an old saying in neuroscience, neurons that fire together wire together. It means that whatever you focus on, you are literally building into your brain's structure. Your brain doesn't care if it's a good habit or a bad one, it just builds the connections. So the only real question left is, with these tools, what reality will you start wiring for yourself starting today?